Hello there. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I'm Nikit Karunaratne, together with Ron Mascarenhas. We'll start off with the headlines as usual. 62.9% of the candidates who sat for last year's GCE A-level examination become eligible for university entrance. Rashmi Nimesha of Ahaliagoda broke all barriers to win the A-level challenge. An appropriation draft bill is to be submitted to Parliament tomorrow for the remaining period of this year. Minister Kanchana Vijayasekara requests the Speaker to appoint a committee for the fuel procurement process. The Petroleum Distributors Association says the recurrence of queues is the outcome of restrictions in the fuel supply. The NASA Institute is readying for another moon landing. On to those and other stories in detail now. The results of the 2021 GCE Advanced Level Examination were released last afternoon. Accordingly, the number of candidates who have been qualified for university entrance is 171,497. As a percentage, this is 62.9. 236,035 school candidates and 36,047 private candidates have sat for the examination. Out of the number of school candidates, 149,946 have become eligible to pursue university education. The number of private candidates qualified for university entrance is 21,551. The Department of Examination says results of 49 schools and private candidates have been suspended. Commissioner General of Examinations LMD Dharmasena says results of these candidates will be released to the respective principal upon scrutiny of the results. Sahan Yasanka Samrakon of Royal College, Colombo has secured the first place in the all-island results of the mathematics stream. Tamil Vannan Thuvarajesh of St. Michael College, Batikalo, who took the all-island first place in the biological science stream. The first place in the commerce stream of the advanced level examination has been taken by Ishini Neha Amararatne of Ratnavali Balika Vidyalaya, Gampaha. The first all-island position in the art stream of studies at last year's GCE Advanced Level Examination has been secured by Ishara Lakmal of Kandagola Central College in Badulla. It was candidate Isuri Pabasara Lokupatirage who has secured the first place in the Biosystem Technology stream of studies. She is a student of Devi Balika Vidyalaya. The all-island first place in the Engineering Technology stream of studies has been secured by P.A. Neram Dilhara of Mayurapada Central College, Narammala. A significant feature of this year's advanced level results is the securing of A-grade passes for all subjects by Rashmi Nimesha of Ahaliagoda National School, sitting in the commerce stream. She is a candidate without both hands and a leg. Yet, she secured the 156th position in the district. Nimesha has set an excellent example to the entire student population by achieving this remarkable feat, despite her physically handicapped status. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena has sent a message of congratulation to all candidates who have qualified and all those who sat for the GCE Advanced Level Examination. The Prime Minister in his message says that he extends best wishes to the sons and daughters of the nation who have won the battle for university entrance, overcoming extreme difficulties. The Prime Minister also reiterates that those who are unable to fulfill their target of pursuing university studies must realize that this examination is not the final point in their educational careers. The Prime Minister's message further says that they will always stand behind the students to direct them towards a more constructive path to win the challenges in life.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe, in his capacity as the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies, is scheduled to present to Parliament tomorrow the appropriation draft bill for the remaining period of the financial year 2022. It will be presented as an amendment to the Appropriation Bill of number 30/2021, which has been presented earlier. The inauguration of the second reading of the revised appropriation draft bill is to be conducted by the President. Debate on the second reading of the relevant appropriation draft bill is scheduled to be conducted on the 31st of this month and also on the 1st and 2nd of next month. The Parliament had already approved the appropriation draft bill submitted by then Minister of Finance Basil Rajapaksa with the objective of procuring funds for service expenditure in 2022 financial year. The draft bill had been approved on the 10th of December 2021 and became an appropriation bill number 30 of 2021. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, after assuming duties, and adjourned the Parliament session on the 28th of July this year, and the third session of the 9th Parliament has commenced on the 3rd of August this year.
Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara has requested the Speaker today to appoint a committee on fuel procurement procedure. He has also requested to hand over leadership of the committee to a member of Parliament in the opposition. Opinions have also been expressed on committees COPE and COPA on this occasion. Parliamentarian Nalin Bandara said that committees have been set up under the Standing Orders 119 and 120. He added that COPE and COPA are two important committees. Minister Susil Premajayantha said that the prominent business committee headed by MP Lakshman Kiriyalla met yesterday. However, the Speaker was absent as he has gone abroad. However, an agreement has been reached over the declaration of the COPE and COPA committees upon return of the Speaker to the island. Opposition leader parliamentarian Sajith Premadasa said that on several occasions, even when the current president was functioning as the Prime Minister, parliamentarians Harsha De Silva, Kabir Hashim and Eran Vikramaratne had pointed out on the importance of the functioning of the COPE and COPA committees. Minister Susil Premajayantha said that the chairman of the Financial Committee was appointed after suspending parliamentary standing orders. It is with the agreement of the President that parliamentarian Harsha De Silva was decided to be appointed as the head of the Finance Committee. He added that some MPs had objected to handing over leadership of both committees to opposition parliamentarians. However, agreement has been reached by the government and the opposition in this regard with the consent of the Speaker.
ගරු කතානායකතුමාගේ ප්‍රධානත්වයෙන් පැවතිච්ච කාර්ය සභාවේ තමයි එවැනි අදහසක් මතුවලා තින්නේ ගරු කතානායකතුමා විසින්. ඒ වගේම සමහර පක්ෂ නායකින්ගේ එකඟතාවයක් තිබුණේ නැහැ විපක්ෂයට මේක දෙකේම සභාපතිකම් දෙනවාද කියන්නේ. ඒ නිසා තමයි මේ එකඟතාවය ලබා ගැනීමට සහ ගරු කතානායකතුමා සිටින අවස්ථාවේදී කටයුතු කිරීමට තමයි අපි දෙකොල්ලම එකඟ වුණේ. එතෙක් පත් කළ හැකි අනිත් සියලුම කමිටු ටික අද නිවේදනය කළා අපි අවසන් කළා තියෙනවා. අයවැය පිළිබඳව එන්නේ මුදල් කාර්ය සභාවට. රාජ්‍ය ගිණුම් කාර්ය සභාවට හෝ ඕප් එකට එන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ විගණන වාර්තාවත් එක්ක එන කටයුතු. ඒ නිසා මුදල් කාර්ය සභාව ස්ථාපනය වෙලා තිනවා. මුදල් කාර්ය සභාවේ මම හිතන්නේ රැස් වුණා පසුගිය සතියේ. ඒ වගේම සභාගත වීමටත් නියමිතව තිබුණා ඒ වාර්තාව. ඒ කටයුතු අඛණ්ඩව කෙරීගෙන යනවා. ගරු කතානායකතුමාගෙන් ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා.
Minister Kanchana Wijesekara said that the Speaker has agreed with the consent of the President to appoint several more Parliament committees. He has also requested to appoint another committee on the procurement of fuel and coal. He has also proposed to appoint an opposition MP as the head of the committee.
ඒ කාර්ය සභාව විපක්ෂයේ മന്ത്രിවරයෙක්ට බාර ගන්නව නම් සුදුසුයි කියලා යෝජනා කරනවා විශේෂයෙන්ම චම්පික රණවක ඇමතුමා ඒ වගේම හිටපු മന്ത്രിවරු කීප දෙනෙක් මේ ඉන්ධන ඉතාමත්ම අඩු මුදල් වලට ආනයනය කළ හැකි බව සහ අලෙවි කළ හැකි බව කියලා තියෙනවා ඒ නිසා විශේෂ බාර ඇමතිවරයා හැටියට එවැනි කාර්ය සභාවක් හදලා විපක්ෂයට ලබා දෙනවා නම් ඒ සඳහා සම්පූර්ණ ඒ අවශ්‍ය සහයෝගය ලබා දෙනවා ඒක බාර ගන්නත් කියලා ඉල්ලීමක් කරනවා.
Parliamentarian Harsha De Silva said that he acknowledges the responsibilities in the Financial Committee. He added that this committee should act as a system changer. The government is engaged in numerous expenditures using its executive powers. They're also engaged in taxing as well. Therefore, the opposition has the opportunity to inquire into such dealings. Commenting on the proposal of the Minister of Power on the appointment of a committee for procurement of fuel and coal, the parliamentarian added that the Finance Committee has full powers to investigate this issue as well. He added that at this moment, when COPE and COPA have not yet been established, he requests the Speaker to fulfill this requirement.
An adjournment debate over increasing electricity charges was held in Parliament today. Both the government and the opposition members have expressed their opinions on the proposal tabled by the opposition. Parliamentarian Mujibur Rahman said that by today, the food-related inflation has gone up by 60%. We are living in a time of extremely high expenditure. The MP added that people burdened by economic difficulties are unable to bear the impending increases in electricity charges. Parliamentarian Kabir Hashim said that the senior official of the Ceylon Electricity Board has recently told before the COPE committee that her institution had incurred a loss of 477.2 billion rupees by May 2022. The total debt of the CEB at present is 612.4 billion rupees. The government has provided 80 billion rupees to cover the expenses. The Samruddhi does not cost that much. He has blamed the government for giving privileges for fraudulent institutions. Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara said that the construction of the Norachole power station has reduced the electricity bill by 25% and the CEB has recorded a profit of 19.3 billion rupees in the year 2014. Even in 2016, the board had earned a profit of 5.8 billion rupees. The collapse had begun in 2017, recording a loss of 40 billion rupees. The loss in 2018 was 70 billion rupees and in 2019 it had increased to 168 billion rupees. Lack of implementation necessary policies had created the fall of the board.
අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රතිපත්ති තීන්දුව ක්‍රියාත්මක නොකිරීම නිසා අද විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලය මේ තත්ත්වයට පත් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලය කනිත්‍ය සංස්ථාව ඇතුළු මේ ආයතන ගණනාවක් තියෙනවා. සේවකයන්ට තියෙනවා අවුරුදු 3කට වතාවක් 125ක වැටුප් වර්ධකයක් ලැබෙනවා. කලෙක්ටිව් ඇග්‍රීමන්ට් එක. සේවය ඇගීමක් කරලා නෙමෙයි ඒ 125ක වැඩිවීම කරන්නේ. මේවා අපි නැවැත්විය යුතුයි ගරු නියෝජක කතානායකතුමනි. මේවා නවත්තන්න යෝජනා කරන විපක්ෂය හැටියට ඔබතුමන්ලා ඒ සඳහා සහයෝගය ලබා දිය යුතුයි. විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයේ සහ
Parliamentarian Vijita Herath that people are experiencing today the wrong decisions taken by the rulers of the previous governments. The loss of the CB is not attributed to the higher number of workers. It is the political intimidations that had caused the downfall. Minister Ali Sabri said that the government should not engage in business. The monies do not come out from the pockets of the politicians. The state has to bear the economic burden. The indiscriminate recruitment of workers had paved the way for the destruction of the Sri Lanka airline and the CPC and other government institutions. The people who had never travelled in an aircraft have to bear the tremendous losses. There is a diesel mafia operating. Solar energy is able to provide a unit of electricity for 14 rupees. However, we are spending 120 rupees to produce a unit of power using diesel. There must be a performance-based evaluation of the issue. Annual reports should be obtained of the incomes of politicians and the institutions. The minister added that dual citizenship status must be looked into. He added that we must inquire as to how children of politicians pursuing studies in big Australian universities. There must be a sense of transparency in the dealings. Minister Sabri further said that 193 state institutions must be reformed. Many so-called institutions of the national resources are actually institutions which destroy national resources. The concept of deceit must be defeated at all times. The lie should be eliminated from society. All must unite to act according to a policy by directly facing the problems.
Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva has presided over a media briefing to enlighten the media on the Sri Lankan Airlines and the restructuring of its subsidiary companies today. Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva said that the government is bound by its commitment to restructure institutions incurring severe losses and to safeguard the employment of the workers in such institutions. The minister added that 49% of the shares of the profit-making Sri Lankan catering company and 49% of the shares of the profit-making Sri Lankan Airlines ground handling will be handed over to private investors. The minister added that they are hoping to repay the debt of 400 billion rupees of Sri Lankan Airlines utilizing these incomes.
The Association of Petroleum Oil Distributors say the reason for the recent recurrences of long queues for the fuel in the CPC and the IOC company is the restricted supply of fuel. The association adds that it has distributed 60% of the fuel requirements of filling stations. Vice President of the Association of Fuel Distributors, Kusum Sandanayaka, said that according to a pilot project of 95 and 92 petrol, a sum of 20 million rupees will have to be paid to the CPC at once. If not, they will not get their oil requirements. He also said that an opinion has been created among the oil distributors that they are not aware when they are going to get the supplies.
යම් කිසි ප්‍රතිශතයක් වලට මේ කියන කාරණාව ඇත්ත. ඒ අය තමන්ට තිබෙන ප්‍රමාණයට තමයි තෙල් ඕඩර් කරන්නේ. ඒකිනොත් යම් කිසි තෙල් හිඟයක් ඇති වෙනට හැකි වෙතයි මා විශ්වාස කරනවා. සියලුම පෙට්‍රල් ෂෙඩ් වලට එහෙම නැත්නම් 100 මම හිතන්නේ 60කට ආසන්න ප්‍රමාණයකට තෙල් ලැබුණා. යම් කිසි ප්‍රමාණයක් ඩීසල් සහ පෙට්‍රල් කියන දෙකම. ඒ වගේම 95 ඔක්ටේන් එකක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. සුපර් ඩීසල් එකක් ලැබිලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ වෙනකොට වොලියම් අඩු වෙලා තියෙන්නේ.
The SLTB depot in Vavuniya is continuously issuing diesel to government vehicles, SLTB and private buses. Therefore, common transportation services and state services are functioning as usual in the Vavuniya district. Paddy farmers in the Polonnaruwa district have been given 16 litres of diesel per acre to enable them to reap harvest. The decision has been taken yesterday through mediation of the district secretary of Polonnaruwa. A group of freshwater fishermen were engaged in an agitation today in Madhampegama, demanding relief in purchasing kerosene oil at high prices. The Association of Heavy Vehicles and Tippers in the Anuradhapura say that they are unable to engage in the professions in an appropriate manner due to the lack of fuel. A meeting between Minister Nalin Fernando and small-scale EGG producers had taken place at the Ministry of Trade, Commerce and Food Security today. The minister said on this occasion that unusual increase in egg prices have been witnessed in the market. The small-scale egg producers said the reason for such increases is the prices of increasing animal feed and therefore requested to revise the control price on eggs.
Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says the network resources available with Sanasa are crucial to strengthen the rural economy at this juncture. The Prime Minister made these remarks during a meeting with the officials of the Sanasa movement recently. Sanasa President Dr. P. Kirivadeniya mentioned that the movement is ready to work together to find solutions to the food crisis. Sanasa has been working with the rural people for a long time and it has a satisfactory community base as well. With that experience in hand, the movement needs to intervene on a large scale, the Prime Minister said. The officials of the Sanasa movement mentioned that a new hope has transpired with the harvest of the Maha season and expectations over food security have heightened. The aim of the Sanasa movement is to uplift the rural economy, the officials further reiterated. Members of Parliament Suren Raghavan, Yadamini Gunawardena, Anupa Pasquale, Prime Minister's Secretary Anuradha Dissanayake, Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration Priyantha Mayadunne, Professor Hilary Silva and several other Sanasa officials participated in this discussion.
The case filed against 3 suspects, including Danis Ali, over forcefully entry and obstructing transmission duties at the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation, was taken up for discussion again before the Chief Magistrate's Court today. The judiciary has ordered the Cinnamon Gardens Police Station to report on the progress of the investigations on the 26th of next month. The 3 suspects, including Danis Ali, who have been released on bail, appeared before the courts today. Chief Magistrate Nandan Amarasinghe has also ordered to release on bail the suspects Cecil Vasantha, who had been detained on a cash bail of 25,000 rupees to 2 surety bails of 500,000 rupees each. A petition has been filed before the appeals court requesting to grant punishment to Puttalam District SLPP parliamentarian Sanath Nishantha over insulting the judiciary. The petitioner, attorney at law Priyalal Sirisena, has also requested to issue an injunction order preventing the respondent leaving abroad until the completion of the inquiry. Other accused in the case are BASL and the Attorney General.
The Ministry of Transport has decided to hand over 80 buses which had been imported 7 years ago to schools. The buses have been imported through the Lanka Ashok Leyland company. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena has inspected the buses at the Ashok Leyland factory in Panagoda, Homagama. The technical committee approval has not yet been received for the government to purchase the buses. The minister said that the pilot project will be implemented after enlightening the President and the Cabinet. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the buses could not be purchased according to the wishes of the minister. They are unable to purchase the buses without the approval of the technical committee. A bus is to be provided at a price of 4.8 million rupees. The company will be paid back through the revenue earned by bus transport.
Samagi Jana Balawegya parliamentarian Thissa Thanayaka said at a media briefing today that consumers should not be subjected to difficulties by allowing to lengthen queues at the filling stations once again. Samagi Jana Balawegya parliamentarian Thissa Thanayaka said that around 2 million vehicles have not yet been registered under the QR code. The government allocated funds only for 6 million registered vehicles. Motorists have used only a lesser quantity of fuel. As a percentage, it was 73. The quantity of 4 litres for three-wheelers and 4 litres for motorcycles is totally inadequate.
Leader of the National People's Power, Anurukumara Dissanayake, says that all parties must act in cooperation to find solutions to the present crisis. He has made these remarks addressing a meeting in Bandarawala yesterday. Leader of the National People's Power, Anurukumara Dissanayake, said that people were having great expectations when Gotabaya Rajapaksa assumed duties as president following victory in the last presidential election. The people were hoping that the new president would bring the country out of the economic crisis. However, within a short period, the people's confidence on the leadership had been eroded. The expectations of the voter and the expectations of those who were seeking power had been on two extremely different levels all the time. The NPP leader added, therefore, the time has come for all to join hands to bring the country out of the collapse. Stay tuned for foreign news after this short break.
We now move on to foreign news now. The American Space Agency has called off the launch of its new moon rocket, the Space Launch System. The moon mission was expected to lay the groundwork for flights to Mars in 2040s. Foreign agencies reported that the NASA controllers struggled to get an engine on the 100-meter tall vehicle cooled down to its correct operating temperature. The U.S. Space Agency had a 2-hour window for a liftoff from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The Space Launch System is the biggest rocket ever developed by NASA. It will be used to send astronauts back to the moon. The maiden flight is only a demonstration with no one aboard, but ever more complex missions are planned for the future that will see people live on the lunar surface for weeks at a time. NASA has the option to make another attempt on Friday if the engine issue can be resolved easily. NASA hopes that by 2025 it will be able to send astronauts back to the lunar surface for the first time in over 50 years. NASA also expects to land the first woman and first person of color on the moon through the SLS mission.
Persian carpets, known for their intricate and vibrant patterns, a symbol of Iranian legacy, are gathering dust as exports have declined over the years owing to American sanctions and growing global competition. Meanwhile, about 600 producers and sellers took part in a major Persian carpet exhibition in the Iranian capital Tehran yesterday. More than 2 million people in Iran work in the centuries-old industry. People involved in the 2,500-year-old exquisite handmade carpet industry recognize that the sector has experienced decades of slow but relentless decline, exacerbated by the US economic sanctions. The United States reimposed sanctions on Iran after pulling out the nuclear deal in 2018 after then-President Donald Trump. Over the past 3 years, the value of the country's carpet exports have dropped by about 3/4. The US and the country have been holding indirect talks to restore the agreement, with the European Union acting as a mediator. The head of the National Carpet Center says that if the sanctions are lifted, people around the world will again be able to enjoy the beauty of the Persian carpets.
Belgium's energy minister has warned that EU countries will face 5 to 10 terrible winters if no measures are taken to reduce natural gas prices. EU states have been struggling with the huge energy price hikes since key gas supplier Russia invaded Ukraine in February, triggering sanctions. Calls are mounting for an EU white cap on the price of gas and its decoupling from the price of electricity. Countries backing Ukraine are attempting to cut imports of Russian gas and oil. Russia, which supplied the EU with 40% of its gas last year, has in turn restricted supplies. Belgian Energy Minister Tin Wendersen wrote on Twitter that gas prices in Europe needed to be frozen urgently, adding that the link between gas and electricity prices was artificial and needed to be reformed. Natural gas is still widely used in generate electricity, and electricity prices have also been soaring in Europe and reached record highs this week. Germany, the largest importer of Russian gas in 2020, has been racing to bolster its gas reserves before winter, despite Russia cutting deliveries.
Deliveries to 33 million cubic meters a day. The full capacity of the pipeline is more than 160 million cubic meters.
Prima Kotomi Pantan.
Welcome back, and now we'll take a look at sports news. In cricket, India won by 5 wickets the match against Pakistan in the Asia Cup cricket tournament played in the Dubai International Cricket Stadium yesterday.
The Pakistani team were all out for 147 runs at the end of 19 overs and 5 deliveries. Mohammad Rizwan was 43, Iftikhar Ahmed 28, Bhuvanesh Kumar took 4 wickets for 26 runs and Hardik Pandya 3 wickets for 25 runs. India has fulfilled the victory target of 148 runs in 19 overs and 4 deliveries. Ravindra Jadeja scored 35 runs facing 29 deliveries. Virat Kohli scored 35 runs facing 34 balls.
Hungary, but this well watched, well placed, will only was beaten by pace there, but the outside edge would fetch Virat Kohli. A great shot. Oh. That's going to be 4 runs. This time, this could be out. Taken. And the now this is great timing. Smashes it through the gap. Hit down the ground. Smashes it. Has it gone all the way? Yes, it is. Finishes it in style. Hardik.
The Sri Lanka Air Force has won both the men's and women's championship trophies in the Inter-Club Super League Volleyball tournament conducted at the Maharagama Youth Services Council Indoor Stadium yesterday.
The Air Force women's team beat the Army women's team by 3-1. The Air Force men's team beat the Ceylon Electricity Board team 3-0. The best player was Mahila Indivara of the Air Force and the best female player was Air Force's Anusha Abe Singha.
In further sports news, St. Joseph's and Wesley Colleges, Colombo have been qualified to enter the semi-finals of the Inter-School All-Ireland Knockout Rugby Tournament yesterday. They have beaten their rivals in the quarter-final matches played yesterday.
The quarter-final encounter between St. Joseph's College Colombo and St. Anthony's College Katukastota took place at the Royal College grounds. The first half of the match has ended, the St. Joseph's team leading 26-7. The final score was 34-14 in favour of St. Joseph's team. The quarter-final between Wesley College Colombo and Science College Mount Rainier has taken place at the Havelock grounds. At the end of the first half, the Wesley team was in the forefront scoring 5 points while the Science College team failing to score. The Wesley team has added 33 points in the final half and their opponents failed to score a point in this segment of the game as well. The Wesley took an overall lead of 38-0 at the end of the match.
Terima Kutumi Pantan.
That's all the news for today. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.